I was delighted last year to have been asked to launch the Gender Pay Gap Report for Unpost, which was at 0. And this year, I'm delighted to say it's still at 0. Unpost are very clear. They want to build a workforce that is diverse, inclusive, and one in which everybody belongs. You're now at a point where you are launching the second Gender Pay Gap Report at 0 in a row, year on year. When you look at that and you see the work that's been done, what are your thoughts?
My first thought is great pride for the people in Unpost and the efforts that everybody has made to make sure that we're a more equal company, but also just a much better company. Any survey that looks at companies says companies that are more diverse are better companies. They make better decisions. I know myself that if you're in a meeting with a more diverse group, you get a more interesting conversation. It isn't about gender balance. This is about equality. This is about diversity. It's part of our program around decent work. That's where it started. So, we've a lot of work to do in a number of areas. First of all, in terms of gender, the big issue to tackle now is the postman Pat issue. Actually, it's postmen and postwomen. We've got to work really hard now to make sure we attract women into this fantastic profession.
We're now facing into a world where organisations with over 250 employees are mandated to report on their gender pay gap. And I can feel it in the ether that, there is an air of trepidation, there is definite fear. And I'd love you to talk to me about that belief and about mindset facing into this new auditing system.
I think the mindset is simple. Appoint women to top positions. But the way we do it is by having our shortlists to be 50-50, male and female. So you're still always going to appoint the best person. If the best person is a male, you'll appoint a male. But we've made sure that there isn't all of those unconscious biases that hold back women, whether it's women themselves holding themselves back, whether it's men holding women back, whether it's organisational rules, by forcing this 50-50 balance for shortlists for jobs.
I've spoken to lots of men and women who work at Unpost, and there's an overriding sense of value and belonging. What are the cultural aspects that allow that to be a reality?
I think there's a number of things. One, I think, is shaping our world, our culture programme, which is very much about ask away. The second thing is we've actively listened to our people over the last 3 years. We went out to all our women this year to survey them on how they feel, what did the last 3 years look like from them in terms of progress. And we've also gone to our people on our programmes to ask them for their feedback. So I think actively listening to what they've had to say has helped us ensure that our actions are the right ones for the future.
And so for the first time ever, you went out to the women of Unpost and surveyed them about their sentiments. What came up in that?
What came up was that 61% strongly agreed that they felt we'd made solid progress since 2019, which was really positive for us to hear, given we were 4 years in our reporting. The second thing that came up was they saw more visibility of women across Unpost. They saw more women supporting women, more female leaders.
And the survey that applied to the women, say, who've been through the Aspire programme, the figures are pretty unbelievable.
Oh yeah, we've had amazing figures there. I mean, 89% of women felt more confident as a result of doing the programme. 19% of women had moved jobs since. 74% put their hand up for more education to further develop themselves. And a lot of them felt far more confident talking about their own personal development and looking for projects outside their own area. So a huge shift in terms of confidence, and then that moving into doing something with it.
So I'd love to know, has that cohort of women who've been through that programme had a positive impact on the other women that they work with?
Absolutely, and I think it's had a lovely multiplier effect. So they've shared their stories, and now we see more colleagues ringing up L&D, what can they do, speak to their line manager more, and having that openness to talk about their career at Unpost and how we can support them, and ask their line manager for support with that, which I think is really positive. And also they've formed a networking circle themselves, so they can share ideas and continue to support each other post the Aspire programme, because for us, the Aspire is one thing, but what happens next is really important. I think for us, we've had a lovely flow into the networking circles, further development, new roles, and that's what you want from the programme, to allow that opportunity to accelerate our women through Unpost and give them the best opportunity to do their very best, and then ultimately to feel they belong and can achieve anything here.
Is it true that you're the only delivery service manager who is a woman in your area.
In my cluster, yeah. So I started in An Post in 1999. I got appointed to a full-time role in 2003 as a postperson. And then in 2008, I took on the role as working leader. In 2009, I went to DSM in Carrickfergus.
What about Aspire attracted you?
When I looked at the sort of things they were covering, confidence building, career progression, things like that, I looked at that and I thought, yeah, that's something I'd like to do.
So what did you walk away with?
I'm more confident, I think, in myself. I'm more confident in my role. I was happy to sit there in my office doing the same thing over and over. And I just thought, it's time to do something different, and An Post supported me to do that.
So what would be your words of encouragement to other people who want to get involved?
This is for everybody. It isn't just for young graduates coming out of college and coming to work in An Post. If you've been in An Post a long, long time, you can still move on.
And so now, with your career, what are the next steps?
I look at every job that comes up and I think, I wonder could I do that? And the little bit of doubt that I had before that maybe, no, you can't, is sort of seeping away. Now I'm thinking, something I can.
So anything is possible?
Anything is possible.
I am working for An Post 4 years. I seen it online and I just said it would be a great opportunity and I applied for it and now I'm here. A typical day for me is I start at 6 a.m. I prepare my walk, so I go around, I collect my mail, my parcels, my scanner, my registered letters, and then I start delivering the post at about 8 a.m. and I have to do it in an efficient way. The benefits for me are definitely getting up early, meeting different people every single day and getting to go home and spend time with my family. And another benefit is the back to education scheme. So like that, if you want to go back to college, the job can help you with that kind of thing.
Our training programs are not just a training program that you attend a classroom or a team session and that's it. There are follow-up sessions as well. There are mentoring classes as well. So there's constant engagement and our programs are driven by the top. So David, our CEO, is passionate about learning, he's passionate about our purpose and he's passionate about redefining what we do. One of the biggest changes I have seen in my team members, my team leaders and my operational excellence manager who attended the Aspire program was they became more challenging. They became more confident. They questioned and they asked the right questions. Everybody gets the opportunity they deserve, irrespective of whether they are male or females. But even in terms of becoming a brand ambassador for programs like Aspire, if you are thinking of attending a program, don't think twice. Look at the Green Institute, look at the programs that are available there. Talk to your manager, talk to the team in learning and development, and find a program that suits you and go for it.
I visited the Dublin Parcel Hub to meet some more inspiring An Post employees who have all progressed thanks to the learning and development opportunities that have been made available to them.
I don't think I'd be standing here now if it wasn't for the Aspire and the encouragement that I got from the peer network that I created there.
I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I went on and did the mentoring programme as well and I took huge benefits from that. Just dealing with different people in customer services, like when they came for interviews, we had acting team leader roles that came up recently. And one thing I took away from it was that I was able to bring their mentoring skills in. I asked each and every one of them how they like to be told after the interview process. Feedback-wise, would they like to be told in person, would they prefer a phone call, an email? And they all said they wanted to be spoken to in person after the interview. So I took time aside with each and every one of them. And then obviously it's opened up more opportunities for them to progress and if they needed help with courses or anything like that. But I think that was really, really important to be able to get in there and do that bit of mentoring.
So do you get the sense that in An Post, everybody has a responsibility to play their part?
Absolutely, it is there. I know through working with my colleagues and their hubs and their teams, they have a sense of responsibility, but we also champion each other. We really motivate each other to do the best that we can. It's never easy, but we get there. We have to be our own biggest fan at the end of the day.
So Thomas, we're kind of in the spaceship now. This is the vision for the future for An Post. Tell us a little bit about this place.
So this is the Dublin Parcel Hub. We went from a centre where we were manually processing about 20,000 items a day to up to 140, 150,000 items are going through this process centre each day.
And so you didn't start here, obviously, at this level. When did you start with An Post?
I started with An Post 13 years ago, postal operative. I then worked as a working leader within that DSU. I progressed then to the parcel office as a working leader, promoted then to DSM, and then where I am at the moment now is operations manager for Unpost.
So in 13 years, that's a pretty serious trajectory.
Plenty of opportunities in Unpost for staff if you, whatever which way you want to go. Plenty of courses, there's plenty of learning to be done, and if you want to do anything in Unpost or go anywhere, there is the support there.
If you could suggest one change that would make Unpost even more inclusive and really foster that sense of belonging for people, what would it be?
Just to keep promoting where we're going. There is a vision there. I just need to make sure all staff are aware of the vision that we have, and then to nurture that through the learning and development team. The opportunities opened up. So if it opened up for me, it can open up for anybody in the organisation.
I met Angie, a great example of the possibilities and agile career choices within Unpost.
I want to know how you started off in the sales team and you're now at the point where you were instrumental in the launch of the digital stamp, which is a talisman of new Unpost.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would have been in product marketing, and a couple of years ago would have led out on some of the more digital-led products. And I'm blessed I got the opportunity to move into our digital team. And Digital Stamp is our latest phenomenon to come to life. It's been an amazing product to work on. Nowadays in digital, it's much more about design, creativity.
Using technology as a medium.
Absolutely. And, you know, I suppose more and more we have automation coming in. But it's understanding how you can deliver an experience for a customer through technology and through a digital medium. It was through the project that I worked on, Click and Post. I came into my own and I realised that it was something I was very passionate about, having never come from that background. I had such great support through that project and encouraging me then to really put myself forward to follow this as a career path.
It's almost where three things meet. It's the self-belief, it's the support, and then it's the opportunities to grow within the business.
Very much so, and I think it's become more prevalent in Unpost, thankfully, over the last number of years, that talent, not just female talent in general, is being recognised in, I suppose, you know, our newer members to the organisation, but also our existing members who are long-term within the company, that we have talents there. And it's about encouraging people to realise their talent and to put their name forward, put their hand up, realise that there is opportunity for people who really want to progress and enrich their own knowledge.
So Heather, tell us a little bit about your role in the organisation, and you really are a newbie.
So my role is I'm head of talent diversity and organisational development, so quite a mouthful, but I suppose for me it's very much around working with our people, helping to develop them, helping to develop the organisation.
This place, this is the gold standard, am I right?
Absolutely. Like, we've got 40% female, 60% male actually in here, and it's fantastic to see. And we want more of this diversity across Unpost, and we want our workforce to reflect our communities and the customers that we serve every day. I think the key is really making sure that the employee has a voice. So our Post People app is a way for us to communicate with all our employees, and again, a lot of our frontline. And the app informs them in terms of work we're doing, our vision, you know, maybe opportunities in terms of learning and development, or again, maybe good stories about, you know, we've heard about our post women, our post men. We get a lot of letters in from our customers.
It is the second year of zero gender pay gap at Unpost, which is absolutely a cause for celebration. But there are other stories that live within the business. And for example, in the postal operative division, it's 87% male. How do you begin to address that?
We obviously want to look at how we're actually recruiting our process and change that. We also are currently doing a campaign, and we're looking for diverse talent, you know, not just females. And I suppose the third is really, you know, educating our hiring managers about what to be, you know, looking out for, or to removing bias from the actual process as well. I think for us, it's very much around making sure that we're providing development opportunities from postal workers the whole way up. Heard some stories about our women where they didn't have the confidence, and it's really making sure that we start to that filter down. We need our line managers to start to really support, you know, all our employees, focusing on their development, focusing on growing, progressing, and, you know, feeling valued.
So much has been done within An Post to make it a better place for everybody to work. But that doesn't mean that the work is over. There is a very well formulated plan, but that plan is also going to have to change. The good news is it lives deep within the organisation.